think telepathy is real? Do you think you can read someone else's thoughts? Do you think that you can read your pet's thoughts? Well, guess what? It is real. Today, we're going to be talking about it in a different way, and that is how our phones have usurped or blocked our ability to connect to other humans through our mind. Now, I want to say, I'm channeling this, but I want to say that this has been scientifically proven. But I'm just going to tell you what my spirit guides are saying. And that is, yes, they have told me for a long time, Susan, if you didn't have that phone, if humans didn't have this phone, that's portable, that goes everywhere with us, that allows us to stay constantly connected, we would be much further along to using our own minds to communicate with each other. But this is a crutch. This is keeping us from doing that. Now, this video is actually not about telepathy. It's about your entire psychic abilities and how the humans are evolving. This is really important. And I would say that it's not very often when my spirit guides give me sort of this energy of importance, but this is one of those videos where they're like, heads up, humans, this is a situation where there's like a fork in the road where you could take this route or that route. And if you take, nothing is bad here, but if you take one route, you're going to have a much longer journey to get to where you're really going. Now, where we're really going is all of us becoming more and more intuitive, more psychic, more telepathic. That is our natural evolution on this planet. 100%. Like if you go back 100 years, you can see people doing mediumship, bringing through, dead people 100 years ago. This is not new. And even if you go back into some of the native peoples here in the United States, they talk about star people, or you talk about the Egyptians and go back to the myths. But there's really evidence in these historical texts of extraterrestrial beings. We've been on this path. This is not new. This has been a continuation of the journey, is what they're saying. But here's something that could really stymie humans, and that is technology, specifically not your phone, but specifically through a chip, a technological, they want to call it warfare, but anyway, a technological chip that could be implanted in you that would allow you to think, honey, please go by the store. We're out of milk. We're out of cereal. Please go pick up extra whatever at the store. And your spouse, ding, you've got mail, gets the message because of the chip. The chip allows, oh my God, the chips allows interspecies communication is what they want to say. But you guys, we can do this on our own. We don't need a chip. And that's the problem. It's a crutch. This is a crutch. So using this chip is going to make us, wow, your life is so much easier. We're not even going to have a phone. We're not going to have an external device that we hold in our hands. Everything is going to be through our eyes. The chip will direct our eyes. When we look at something, we can blink and buy it. This is what they're showing me. I'm not saying this exists right now. I'm saying this is where we're going. This is where the powers that be want us to go. Now, why is that? Because we're now, not trying to get too political here, but we are connected to their system. We're dependent on their system. How could I ever go back to life before a cell phone? Could you go back to a life before this computer, your cell phone? Probably not. It would be very hard to do so. Well, imagine that technology incorporated into your body, where you can do all types of skills without needing to do anything. As I mentioned, you look at something, you blink, you order it. You look at something and you send that visual to your spouse, to your kid. Your child can say, I missed the bus. I missed my ride. Or it's raining and our event was scheduled. Can you pick us up? If you think about it for a minute, that would be so helpful. Wouldn't it be helpful to not have to make sure your phone is charged, or maybe you lost your phone, or you didn't get the text, or the service was out, or the service was bad? Yeah, it's going to be incredibly useful. It's going to be, the guides are saying it's going to be intoxicating. Intoxicating, that's the word. It's sort of like how I feel about AI, or artificial intelligence, when you can ask a simple question and get like an entire answer, and it's actually really pretty darn good. When that first happens, you're like, what is happening right now? Like, it's just, it's beyond your comprehension, is what the guides are saying. This is something you've never experienced before. And it's something you've never experienced before that could make your life 1,000% easier. And who wants to argue against that? So this is what we're up against as far as our human evolution. It's going to be hard for us to say, don't get the tip. You have intuition. You don't have to do this. With a little bit of practice, you can start using this muscle, this psychic muscle that you haven't been using. You didn't even know you had it, but you do. It's going to be hard for me to convince people to not jump on that bandwagon, because, Susan, it's making my life so much easier. So if that happens, I'm not saying that we're de-evolving or devolving, or that we're terrible people. I'm saying that we're going to have to extricate ourselves from that embedded, and I mean embedded physically, but also embedded socially and every other way. We're going to have to extricate ourselves from that, because at some point, we all know this, right? We all know, the guides are showing me back when movies had those subliminal messages. I don't know if you guys remember that, but there was subliminal messages in movies to buy popcorn or to eat or drink or whatever. And once that was discovered, that was outlawed. Well, capitalism, if there's not a guardrail, if there's not really good watchers that are capable of limiting capitalism, it is not good. It is not a good thing. So if you have capitalism embedded in you, I want you to just think about it for a minute, because what if your chip is free? Government's like giving you chips. You can have it. But your chip only allows you to do certain things. But if you want a better chip, you got to pay $500. Well, now we got a class system, right? It perpetuates the class system. But if we all just worked on our own psychic abilities, our own intuitive abilities, there's no class system per se, because even though I might be able to see things, you can hear them, you can feel them, and you know them. I think part of the lesson here is not to judge each other, not to judge ourselves, to allow each of us to be independent and different, and not to say this different is better than that different, because it's not. So right now, before we get to this place where chips are mandatory, is what I just heard, let's really work on our own psychic abilities. Let's work on our own intuitive abilities. Let's work on our own telepathic abilities. And let's be a little wary of becoming addicted to, or really it's an addiction, but there's another word that they want to use. It's really the ease of use. it's not an addiction, because it's like, are we addicted to cars? You know what I mean? Like, there's some things in our society, like, are we addicted to water coming out of the faucet? 75 years ago, 100 years ago, maybe that didn't happen so much. It's not an addiction. It's a we count on it. We rely on it too much. We just have an over reliance on these things, and an over reliance on technology like AI, an over reliance on it. It's stunting our mental capacity because AI is doing all the work for us. But now the next thing is stunting our psychic, our and our intuitive capacity. And while I was stumbling, they were showing me a whole picture. I can see this situation where, if you, and I'm not religious at all, that's not good or bad, it's just that I'm not. There were these people called the Essenes, I think, the Essenes. And if I'm not mistaken, they held sacred information or sacred text. And they were a secret society, because they were not liked. They were not thought of well. And so they kind of put themselves, out, they put themselves in the outskirts and secluded themselves, sequestered themselves, and then hid these ancient texts that I don't think we even have today. I kind of feel like that might be where mystics go, where mysticism goes in 20 years, in 10 years even, right? It might have to go underground. It might, because also, if we're healing each other, because this is something else they've told me, we all have the ability to heal each other and ourselves, but we don't believe we can do it. So it doesn't happen. Like, even though I, let's say, believed that I could heal you, if you don't believe you can be healed, you can't be healed. Then the other thing is that sometimes, I've talked about this in my last video, we have contracts. Our soul wanted to experience this particular illness. It just wanted to experience it. Sometimes your soul wants to experience being rich, and sometimes your soul wants to experience being poor, because those are very different things. And how are you treated, and what do you learn from that? This soul experience is all about learning and growing and enriching the soul. But AI is cutting that short. Having a chip put in you is, what is that word? Thwarting, when something is, I don't know. But anyway, when something is minimized, it's keeping it from growing. Stunting. It's stunting the growth. Now's a good time. Now's a good time to learn about your intuition, to try to grow it, to flex it, to practice it. I've got so many free videos on this, you guys. I really do. On my other channel, Susan Lynn, Spirit Navigator, I have probably 80 videos. You can watch all 80 videos for free. and it's like a masterclass in raising your vibration. It's a masterclass in your intuition, in expanding your intuition. I started the second channel you're watching now, Susan Lynn, Spiritual Way Shower, because my first channel, I also predict politics, and that got to be a little dicey. And my spirit guides were like, you need to create another channel and just have spirituality on it, because this one might get taken down. So that's why I started this new channel. But the other channel still has probably 80, 90 videos on it. If it's still kicking, they're still there and you can still watch them, right? But meanwhile, I'm also hedging my bets by creating free content here on this channel, because that's what I'm supposed to do in this life. I am a teacher. I am a way shower. I'm also a community builder, right? So what I want you to take away from this video is not that they're going to put chips in us and they're control us, because overall, everybody's very happy with it. I don't see them turning us into robots and making us do things we don't want to do, because the soul is still there. And it's just like hypnosis, the guides are saying. If you were to be hypnotized and the hypnotist tried to get you to do something that your soul was against, you wouldn't do it. So I'm not saying that people can't crack under pressure or that people can't be coerced or people can't become part of a cult. They certainly can. But the majority of people are not going to fall into some sort of robotic, mindset. They're going to use it to make their life easier. But the sad thing about it is, in doing so, it's going to be so easy, they're not ever going to try to really do the little bit harder work of getting their own intuition and their own psychic abilities on the map, because it's just a little bit more work. And the other way is handed to you, right? It comes with strings, but it's handed to you. So I just think that's interesting. I just wanted to share that with you today. Again, I have lots of videos on how to do this. They're all free. Please check them out. Go to my different channels. They're all under Susan Lynn. If you type in Susan Lynn Psychic Medium, if you go to my website, SusanLynnMedium.com, you should have links to all my channels. And you can spend a long time just watching free content and learning about this. Speaking of something else that's free, I have a free online community called Lighthouse Keepers Crew. You can join that. And you know what? If you want to join a place where you can talk about, I got tarot cards, or I have oracle cards, or I thought I would learn how to read runes, or I'm really interested in astrology, or I'm just having a good day, or whatever. This is your community, right? These people are just like you. They're waiting for you. These are your friends, right? There's over 2,000 people there in this free community, and you can be as chatty, or you can be a lurker. Like, typically I'm a lurker, but you still benefit from it, right? We're lurking, but we're participating in our own quiet way. All of that is welcome in this community, and you can find out more about that community. It's just easy to join. You just join it, and you can find out about that at SusanLynnMedium.com. And I also have a premium community that you can join. It is only $12 a month. You can join it for 1 month and then cancel if you don't like it. It's just that easy. Honestly, people come and go. People come and then something happens, their money gets a little tight, they cancel for a few months, and then they come back. It's all good. That's the kind of community that I created, is one that is welcoming and accepting and open and loving. Okay. The premium community, you get more premium things, right? I'm there doing readings with my members once a month. I'm also there another session during the month with my group. Anybody that wants to show up, honestly, that's a member. It's called Soul Growth Sunday, where my spirit guides give us questions that we ask oracle cards or tarot cards, and then we journal. We try to figure out what the heck they're talking about. And then if you get stuck, I'm there to help you out, right? So again, I'm there working with you one-on-one. All of this is designed to raise your vibration, to grow your soul, to help you understand your own intuitive abilities. Check out the website, guys. If you found this content helpful, please hit the like, subscribe, comment below. If you go to the website, you can find all my links, but you can also join for my newsletter. Believe me, I'm not going to spam you because I barely can get them out as it is. But I do let my members, whether they're free members or premium members and or my subscribers, know what's happening first. So if I'm having a class or I'm having an event, you guys are the ones that get to know first about what's happening. So that's helpful in and of itself. Let me know what you think about this chip situation. I don't see them forcing it on us. I do think that it will be 100%. People will want it when they realize how easy their life is. I don't have to get my phone out and go to my grocery store and put my order in. I can literally think it and get it ordered. People will sign up immediately, which is fine. Maybe that's okay. But it is going to stunt, or the words they're saying is divert our evolution. So you know how you can take the short way to wherever you're going, but then you can take the long way. We will be taking the long way. But you and I don't have to. You and I can learn how to use telepathy. I literally have a really cool video, at least one, if not two, about telepathy. I'll try to put it in the description if I remember. But if you go to my channel and type in wow, go to that playlist and then type in telepathy, it'll show up. I'm gonna tell you right now, you're gonna be surprised. You are gonna be surprised how you are sending your thoughts out and how you're receiving other people's thoughts. Have you ever decided you were going to do like a remodel or a vacation, and it's just you and your spouse talking about it and you're so excited? You didn't tell anybody at work. Maybe you didn't tell any of your other family members. You didn't tell your sisters or brothers or uncles, right? Nobody. You've been keeping it on the down low. You go to finally announce it because it's bought, it's paid for, it's happening. And they say they're doing the same thing. When neighbors paint their house the color you were going to paint your house, when your sibling buys the same color car that you were going to buy, when your sibling names their kid the same name you were going to name your kid, that's because you are a projector. You're projecting. You didn't talk about it, but your mind talked about it. Your mind has been telling everybody what you're doing. Your energy is sending. Some people are receivers. Empathic people are receivers. They receive. I think my boss is going to go on vacation next month and they're not telling us, but I know it's happening. I think my coworker is going to quit. They're not telling anybody, but that's what I'm feeling. That's empathic. But you're receiving the information. We're already doing telepathy. We're already doing it. We just don't know it. So why not claim it? Why not go ahead and say, let's try this. Let's do it more. Let's see what we can get done. You know, and I've been using it a lot with my dog. And honestly, I never knew why people wanted to talk to their animals, because I pretty much was sure that your animal would just say, take me for a walk. I want more treats. Well, that all did happen. Plus, my dog said, I hate that shit, when I tried to give her some canned food. I didn't know she hated it. She literally cussed at me. I was like, when did I ever teach you to use that kind of language, lady? But anyway, we even can talk to our animals using telepathy. They can talk to us using telepathy. It's just a muscle we didn't know we had. And there it is. We just need to work it out a little bit. And then pretty soon we're using it. Okay. Take really good care of yourself. I'll see you again next Wednesday. I am Susan Lynn, Spiritual Way Shower. Take really good care.